What's up with it? Hey guys, this is Meg and Jeanette, but you can call me Meg.
And this your boy Greg. What's happening?
And I always have this weird crust behind my ears.
And I don't have a haircut for the third straight video.
And welcome back to Get It Together. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're the show that explores all things in your relationships to grow and work together. So that's finances, faith, and fun. So today, let's start off with a little story.
Okay.
And we're going to time travel. Do you remember that time we went to this event in Atlanta? So it was called Greenlit.
Okay.
And we were standing around at the end of it. And so the event is focused on, is it actors or is
actors?
It? Yeah.
Well, all creators.
All
creators.
Creators across the Atlanta, area. So I guess, I don't know, somehow we fall into that category, but I don't know. But so
we fall into that category because first of all, your husband is an actor.
Oh yes,
and then we have a podcast.
Yes,
look at her.
I know. Well, I just now started thinking of myself as that. I really just said I sit up here and talk all day. But at the end of it, we were standing there just talking to people, and I was talking to this girl, and I was telling her, I was like, oh yeah, like I have like a podcast, but then I hear like, oh my gosh, I have a podcast too, and it's this girl on the right side of me. And, like, she was full of energy, full of life. And I was like, wow, this is a lot. But I was here for it. So then she, like, walks up and we're like, oh, my God, let's exchange information. And then she's all excited. We're excited. We're vibing. And you know me, when I first meet somebody, I can tell within a split second if, like, this is going to be something that works or this is somebody I got to get away from. So I knew this would be like, oh, she's amazing. Then she turns around like, yeah, my husband's behind me, too. And you were already talking to her husband.
Yeah.
And y'all were vibing.
Oh, we were like, what's up?
Yes, exactly. And so from that point on, I just wanted to know every single thing about them. But she was very persistent and be like, no, let's just wait till we have our first time. Let's talk on our podcast.
That sounds like somebody.
It does. So with that being said, we want to introduce you guys to Ethan and Kaydon Belle.
What's happening?
We got the bells in the house.
Yes. I gotta have credit because I was trying my best not to look at them the entire time. I was like,
Yes. But yes, so how about you guys just introduce yourselves? So let them know who y'all are, what you guys do, give them your social security number, all that stuff.
Got you.
All right, 1-800.
Right. We're definitely going to start with the social. Definitely. Go ahead. You go first.
My name's Kaydon, and I am a writer. I write music. I write scripts. I write poems, books. I have a few books out. So just I write. I love to write. And I love to talk.
About the podcast.
Yeah.
So I also have
You got to plug
I
that.
also have a podcast, and then the podcast is Our Minds Lifestyle.
Yes.
okay.
And this is my other host.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm Ethan Belle. So I do sound engineering, music production. I'm getting into the videography side, so I've been doing videography, photography. We just filmed a wedding. But yes, I want to get into like building my own movies. I want to write my own movies, fund my own movies. I want to put together amazing people that have amazing talents. So it was crazy that we all met. So yes, it's an honor to be here, and thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for coming. Okay, so I said your last name wrong. It's Belle.
Belle.
So it's technically Belle. You did pronounce it right. So it's spelled Belle, but like in France it's Belle. But like we produce music as well. So like that's our artistic name.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we
it's
made
French?
the E make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Belle, Bell, is spelled this way in the U.S., but in France it's spelled Belle.
Oh,
It's still
okay.
pronounced Belle.
Yeah.
But I was just like, like Bel Air, like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yes,
I was just like, all
yeah.
right, it's Ethan Belle.
No,
like,
I get that though because my maiden
dope.
name is Francisco, but people are saying it's Spanish, but it's actually French because it's pronounced Francois in
Really?
French. Yes.
I'm sitting there
That's
thinking, I'm
dope.
like, as an actor, I probably should have took her last name.
I said that.
Greg Harris. And starring Greg Harris.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could still just
Griffin.
double your last name.
Oh, no, I ain't doing that. I
technically,
was
I'm
playing.
Francisco
I ain't
Harris.
doing that.
You can be Greg Harris.
That's going to be a long last name. But, you
So I
know,
have a question with that. So when it comes to renewing your vows, can y'all switch last names?
I mean, you can.
Yeah. I
What
mean,
if y'all were
I can,
half of the year,
Yes.
Harris, other half?
Yeah.
That'd
yeah.
be cool.
He could have, immediately just, change his name.
I have no idea what y'all talking about.
Okay. But, okay, so, Kaydon, Ethan, tell us how you guys first met. First of all, how long have y'all been together?
9 years.
9
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
9 years married, 9 years dating.
So we've been together 5 years. Well, 5 years before we got married. So, right? Am I right?
So I'll start from the beginning. So
Yeah.
we met, we got engaged a year after talking. and then we stayed engaged for 5 years total, and then we got married on our 5th year.
Wow.
And it'll be 10 years next year, so 9 years as of now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We waited 5 years to get married.
So,
I probably would have still waited.
What is the story on how you guys met? How old were you and all that good stuff?
We were
I'll
young.
let him tell that one.
So I used to work at Family Dollar.
Okay, it's a good story.
I hated working there though.
Okay.
Yeah, the pay was not the best. But you know what? That was like my first job. Like, so, you know, it was great to get into the work field there. But to be honest with you, I just got my heart broken. So I was at this phase where I was like, you know, girls will go in, I get their number or whatever. So, but she was the only girl that I was really intimidated to approach. Like, she had on her scrubs. She was doing like home health care and things like that. So she would always come in with her scrubs. She was really pretty, and I was just like, yo, I'll always be like kind of starstruck. So one day my manager seen me like watching her like walk to her car, and like my manager was like, hey, like, just go approach her, right? So ironically, I had just bought a car, and it was like my first car that I was able to finance on my own. We met when we were young, so like we met when we were like 19.
Okay.
19, yeah. So it was like my first car I financed, so it was perfect because she parked next to me. So then I walked out and I was like, yeah, like, look, I ain't trying to waste your time, but I find you attractive, you know, you should let me get your number so I can get to know you. And she was like, all right, cool. But I did this thing where I like lean back in the car, girl. So it was like perfect. Ever since then, we were just friends. Like, we were friends for a while before we actually got together. So, but she did come into my job like 3 times and like the
See,
same.
I knew it was
Yeah.
going to go left. I was waiting.
Did you know that he was peeping you out or what?
We both were kind of like peeping each other out, but I wasn't stalking him. So he does like to say the thing where I'll come in multiple times a day. I went there twice. One, because I had dogs. So I went to go get doggy treats, and then I went to go get like some lotion or something. Two different days. And
the same day, but
second day, it was either probably the second or third day, I went in there to get like a long mirror. This is a whole nother week now, okay? It's not the same week. I was stalking him.
You just need a lot of things.
Yeah, I needed a lot of things. It was the Family Dollar. This Family Dollar is right down the street. It's the neighborhood Family Dollar, okay? It's right there. So I went to go get the long mirror. I came in there, and I didn't see him. And then I was like, and I actually had that feeling. I was like, dang, he's not here today. So I kind of had like that feeling like maybe we'll talk at one point because I did find him attractive. And I didn't see him. And then comes in out of nowhere, pushing the carts in to inside the building. Okay. And I stop and ask him like, hey, do you guys have a long mirror? And then that's when he's like,
oh, you trying to get that Trey Songz mirror.
I know.
I used to say the most corniest jokes to her.
You beat that.
I need a long
Man,
mirror.
King, you was the prize, King.
Right.
You was the prize.
Exactly. Look, you gotta let him know. Yeah,
you was the prize, man.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and then from there, he checked me out, and then he made another joke about the doggy treats.
I was like, "Damn, you ain't gonna buy me no doggy treats for my lunch break? I get hungry too. I want a treat. Come on, like."
So I found out then he likes doggy treats. I was like, all right, I don't know if this is the one. You know what I mean? I'm giving this to my dog.
Fun fact: I don't eat doggy treats. Just so y'all know.
I just thought it was a joke because I meant a dog.
I took it serious. I was like, oh, you like doggy treats? Okay. You want the beef or the bacon?
Right. Yeah.
So, and then from there, I went back out, and then that's when he came out and approached me that day. And then he has this thing where when he meets somebody, he waits 3 days to text them. So I'm like by my phone, like, oh, he's just not going to hit me up. And then 3 days later, ironically, I don't know if it's a code or anything, but 3 days later, he texts me.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so you still don't do that to people. Well, I mean, obviously you don't meet
Right.
women, but like...
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that was your thing at 19-year-olds. That's what you did.
Not really, because I mean, like, I feel like it's always still a give and take. Like, when I meet authentic people, I'm just very, very authentic. So when it came to the dating thing, like, I used to be a really nice guy. So I would be the guy, like, get your number, like, hey, like, what you doing in a few hours? Let's go out somewhere. Like, if you bored, we're not doing it, let's do something. And it used to always get put on the back burner. So, like, I met her, that's what I told you, I got my heart broken. So, like, I met her right around that time. And then, so it was like, but every time I hit her up, she matched my energy. It was like, hey, you want to hang out later? Yeah, come over. Like, I'm like, oh, she let me come over. We didn't do nothing, though. We just watched TV. It was, like, great, though.
I want to talk to them, like, right then and there. I don't have to talk to them, like, all day long. But there's this thing going around where it's, like, you're too available, and I don't understand that logic. So what do y'all feel about that?
Yeah.
Match energy. How you feel about that, babe?
Are you trying to say that's me?
No. Not
at all.
When we first started dating?
No.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, because I was on a time schedule.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely. I mean...
It was like, I said, hey, what are you doing? I had got this long text. So I cannot talk to nobody from like 7 o'clock in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night because I'm like literally in school. I'm like, man, she's just playing.
Why?
She's just playing.
What was I doing?
No, because she said school, so I'm thinking like it's the normal thing. Like, all right, she just playing me. You know how they trying to front.
I feel that.
She was real. I went and hung out with her one time. Walked in her place and it was like books on books on books on books on
getting my
books on
doctorate
books on
degree,
books.
so I cannot talk
I was like,
stop
so she really can't talk to me.
I cannot talk to you.
Yeah.
I had no time.
I am not upset at this no more.
No, I was not in college. Like, we met.
But you made time though. That was amazing.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I
did, yes.
She was very surprised. I was very committed. She was like, "Wow, you really waited at the phone at 9 o'clock?" I was like, "Yeah, girl, what's good?"
Right,
Yeah.
like what's up? Like,
all of my schedule, but yeah, to answer your question as far as about like not this thing about being available and stuff, I really don't understand it. And I think that's why I kind of asked whenever you said he had this thing that you waited like 3 days and then like you would contact somebody. I feel like for me, that comes off as like playing games. Mm-hmm. And I think I just don't get it because I'm like, I'm with you. If I want to talk to somebody, no matter who it is, I'm going to hit you up that day. Yeah. It's like, even whenever like I feel like I met you and we weren't trying to holler at each other. But...
Right, yeah, like,
but it goes into relationships and friendships.
Yes,
yeah.
like I'm gonna like hit you up that day if I really feel like I vibe with you. So that's why when you say like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna wait 3 days and hit her up. But I guess as a man, I don't know if it's different if you all are trying to not like bait the woman or just see that, okay, like let's make her linger and see if she's actually gonna talk to me. I'm not really sure what goes on with that. You want me to answer? What is happening?
Go ahead.
Okay, so. Yeah. Everything in this day and age, people are gonna either half of people are gonna find is normal, or the other half is gonna find like completely weird. So what this gentleman, this king, this guy did right there, what he did, he just did it in a respectful manner because he really was like, I really want to like. I don't want to come off as no creep and just like text her the day of and stuff like that. But other people, like you said, can find that as that's weird. You playing games with me, but sometimes it is like that. I mean. Some people will find the fact that I waited at the phone at 9 o'clock to talk to you, like, you creep, you ain't got nothing else to do with your life. But like, nah, my dad was like, if you really like somebody and because I told you, I didn't play games with people, just like you said. I didn't play games with people like that. I had my time, like the little window I did, but I didn't do that. So when it came to you, it was like, oh, okay, wait, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, boom.
Right. Can I chime in on that?
No, go ahead.
So I actually mentioned too, I was like, I had just got my heart broken, right? So like, I used to be a really sweet guy. I'm still a sweet guy, obviously. Like, this is my baby right here, right? But like, I used to be like the type of guy, like even, cause I've been on my own since I was 15. So like, me and my brother, we were roommates together. We had our own apartment. He was a lot older than I am. So like the apartment was in his name, but like he had a company that I worked for too. So we would run this business together and pay our rent. So like I've been on my own, and like courting a woman is something that I was raised with, So like actually saying like, hey, like I like you, I want to take you on a date before, physical entanglements are even a thing. Like let's actually go out and get to know each other as people, see if we really like each other. I used to be that way, and we have toxic people out there, unfortunately. So I would be the guy who'd be like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna call you later, like, so we can talk. Like, let's talk about the fact that we've seen each other, we got each other's number. Let's enjoy this moment. Right. I do feel you as far as like, I think the thing is the biggest lesson that I learned is like, it's not really like the people that really match your energy and that are willing to make time for you will make time for you. So you were busy in college, you were busy with your life, but yet you waited for her at the time that y'all were supposed to talk on the phone, and you made time for him. So, like, with her, she made time for me. I was used to being like, hey, like, I like you. You told me to call you, but then, like, now I'm not hearing from you for days. Or, like, I was really, like, the nice guy, the stereotypical nice guy. And so after I got my heart broken, it made me realize that I have to care about myself first. And then the more that I value myself, obviously, I love myself, not to be like egotistical or self-centered, but like if I have value within myself and I know how to love myself, then I can love somebody else. Yes. So because I set those boundaries with like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell myself not to chase after you too hard because I liked her already.
And you have this saying now with us being adults, we're 19. Now we give our time to people who give time to us. So we're not gonna chase somebody if they clearly don't want our time. All right, they don't want our time. But for other people, like with us, it took us a while to like sit down, but we kept the communication open. Right. We still commented, we still checked on each other, you know, and we just met each other. So for us to keep that communication open showed that we actually, our time just wasn't lining up, but eventually did. We're here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's so true because, like, as, like, we've gotten older, you know, time is such a precious thing. And I think that's why I feel like for us it's been kind of difficult with finding people here in Atlanta that really, really, like, connect with us, like, couples we can spend time with because it's just that if I don't get the vibe at first, that, like, I feel like we're, like, connected and that's much effort that I'm putting in to hang out with you, you're going to put the same effort in to hang out with us as well, then it's just not going to line up for me. And I think that for me versus you kind of speak for yourself. For me, I've kind of only found about, I would say, maybe like 3 to 4 girls that I can say, okay, like we are on the same level as far as what we want in life, where we're going, and actually put an effort in to hang out with one another and spend that time with one another. But I think that for you, and I don't know if it's something like a man thing as well,
It's a man thing.
that it's been pretty difficult for you to kind of develop relationships with
Guys,
men here.
So,
Yeah.
so for me, you know my whole story when it comes to just like friendships for, I guess, men in general, is because I grew up, you know, that nerdy kid. Like y'all see me as a really big guy now, but I was like, probably like what, 3 foot, glasses, braces, like,
I feel you.
I
my
was
growth
getting,
spurt was late in life.
yeah,
Like,
see, my girls. I just, when I started playing ball in high school, that's when I actually got like, all right, I'm taller. I'm a little bit taller. I'm a little bit bigger now. But the people that I made friends like as I came up, those are the people that stuck by me. Like it was like, all right, I'm gonna keep you right here. We locked in. And then last year, I was in the academy all last year, so I struggled for a whole year with 37 other people. So out of those 37 people, there were like 5 of us that became like a study group, and it potentially became like those are my guys. When I failed a test, they were like kicking me in the butt and saying, "You coming over to my place? We're about to study." And it was real life. Like, no, we're not here to play. We're not here to like talk war games. You're graduating with us.
Right.
And those became my friends. So coming to Atlanta, it was like, I don't want to make no new friends, man.
Yeah.
And she was on me because I worked at the fire department for a couple months before I left, and I did make 2 like really close colleagues, yes. And the thing is, I mean, one of them, he's really, really quiet. So it's like we would talk, but then we would just sit there. Just gaze into space. I'm like, this is a good friend. So it was kind of hard, you know. And then the other person was my trainer at one point. He was my personal trainer. Like I literally he was my personal trainer for 3 months. And after I told him, hey, my schedule's gonna change, I can't go to you. It took me like 2 months after I left him for me to hit him up and say, hey, bro, we should hang out sometime. He said, yeah, that's cool.
Right.
Okay, so that's the thing.
Right. It's weird.
Do you experience that?
I guess it.
Tell
so
you one story with our neighbor.
Oh yeah. So I actually yes, I have a theory for that. So the people that we want to be friends with the most, like the people that we want to be friends with the most, typically like we go out of our way to extend ourselves to them. But for some reason, like initially, and I had to be self-aware of this, but like it's weird for me when people like say, hey bro, you want to hang out? Like, you know, so I fly drones. I met my neighbor one day because he, wild how it happened. He was flying his drone one day, and then like this big drama situation happened because he's a drone pilot, so he does like roofing inspections and things of that nature. But I fly drones for cinematography. So, you know, immediately when I saw his drone, like me and him connected off of that. I'm like, hey, bro, is that the, you know, DJI M30? Like, which is like a $20,000 drone. So the fact that, like, only, like, because I'm a nerd at heart, so only really nerds know about drones. So, you know, he was like, yeah, we started talking. He's like, all right, cool, we should fly. I'm like, I'll go grab my drone. Let's fly right now. And like every other day, he's hit me up like, "Hey, bro, I'm about to go fly. You want to meet me here to go fly?"
You want to come fly? You want to
Yeah,
fly?
yeah, like,
doing nothing. And then it was a comment or not? It was a text message. You sent. I was like, "That's how guys talk to each other."
Yeah, because he was like, "If you ain't," he was like, "Yeah, come out and fly with me if you ain't doing nothing." And I'm like, "Well, I'm doing something." But like, thanks for the invite. But at first, I thought it was like, because like me, it's weird because I'm an extrovert sometimes, but then I'm an introvert. So like, you know, sometimes I'm like, sometimes I want to stay to myself. But like when people reach out to me, I kind of found it weird because, and maybe that's like a confidence thing with myself, because I had to ask myself like, why do I think it's so weird that somebody wants to hang out with me? Because in my mind, what I'm thinking when I feel that way is like, what's so awesome about me that like that you want to hang out with me? You know what I mean? And it's because it's that question. It's not that I'm asking myself that, but I'm more so asking myself like, what are you trying to use me for? When you just kind of like, hey, you want to hang out here? You want to hang out here? I always think like there's a secret motive, but I had to learn like maybe that's a confidence issue. Maybe what I'm really saying is like, what's so awesome about me that you just want to be around my company, or we have this thing in common that like I get you, you get me, we have a good time when we do it. So honestly, I'm the same way, bro. Like sometimes some people I'm just like, like you said it, and then also it's hard to connect with people as you get older because like you said, time is valuable.
It's hard.
And when you're on a mission and you're trying to build something and time is so finite and it could just fall through your fingers, you also are very picky about who you want to hang around anyway too. So I get you guys.
Yeah. So, okay, so I'm going to switch gears for a second.
Yes.
So you guys have been together for 10 years now. So 2 questions. Start the first one. What do you feel like has been like the hardest year, I guess, like of your relationship? Because 10 years is a very long time.
Yeah.
To be together.
Yeah, we only got a couple days to anniversary. I'm sitting here like,
Right.
I mean, do I want it?
Right. Yeah.
And it's going on how many years for you guys?
Together 5 years, and it'll be 1 year married.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all got some
1 year
time
married
in.
on like Monday.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
dope.
Well, happy
Yeah.
early anniversary.
Right.
I'll be skipping to Houston Sunday night.
That's cool.
I
That's
didn't even get
cool.
there.
She gonna be with you and
I know, right?
Right, yeah.
Maxine.
Right.
But
right.
yes.
you forgot something, honey.
Right. Like you forgot your wife. Hello.
Don't worry, I got my bags. Let's go.
That's right. Attack for us.
Get the police.
Shut up.
Then you have the stalker. That's when you stalk each other. That's
Right.
the
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Oh, yeah, no, she is my stalker.
Look, long
I
as you
ain't
match
tripping.
each other energy, that's all that matters.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
facts.
Like,
I would say for me the hardest year, honestly, because we moved in. We actually have this conversation a lot. We feel like we moved in kind of fast. So
Yeah.
me and my mom were staying together, and then me and my mom was going through like a rough time, and me, Ethan, and one of his friend, which turned into our roommate, moved in probably within like
probably like
a year after we.
He was like,
Less
you know, how
than a
you have
year
that
after we
coworker
already
and y'all
started
hit it
dating.
off. Y'all become really close. Y'all end up hanging out all the time. Well, like he
I'll talk to
stayed
my
with.
coworkers.
I feel you. I feel you. So like you
We
know,
moved in with one.
yeah, right. Ended up becoming like a brother. We ended up moving in together, like you know.
Okay.
So and that also just being my girl too. I'm very protective. So like you know, I had to make sure that like you know his mental state was okay to be like, hey, like you know, this you have to treat her like a sister, bro. Like this is your sister, bro. Like or I'm gonna beat you up. Like so you know, luckily everything was copacetic. It was a great experience. But go ahead, I'll let you.
But I'm not sure if it was our age that made it so hard at that time, or like if we were to redo it now, would I still feel this way? But I would say with us, that was our first time living together. So within those first 3 years of learning how to live with someone was really hard. And then with us learning to carry a job on our own and carry our own weight, being on our own as well, like not having our parents like, hey mom, I'm short $500 on rent. Like no, I got to figure it out. I can't just call somebody. I mean, I could, but you still got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think for that, there was a lot of times where like I would have to pick up his weight, or he would have to pick up my weight, or we would have to pick up his roommate's weight. So like that was extra tension when you live with somebody and they're not getting their rent paid. Now me and him have to figure it out. That was a common issue. So like some of those scenarios, and then just on top of like us learning to really like each other, and then he has this thing where we'll probably go ahead and share this as well. In the beginning of our relationship, I had a friend that was a guy. I did massage therapy when I first graduated high school. So we met in massage therapy, and we were really cool. So when we first started dating, he worked third shift, and my friend asked me like, "Hey, what are you doing up?" And kind of like what the guy said. I was like, "Nothing, watching, just chilling." So then I go over his house. This is 4 a.m. So with us being in a relationship, now I know going over somebody's house at 4
twitched when he
a.m.
said that. He was like, "What? It's 4 in the morning."
They're like knocking over the water. I was like,
Boyfriend.
Right.
It's my friend.
What if I just got like got up and walked out?
It's
I'm like,
my-
bro, like we just started.
It's my
like,
friend. So going over a guy's house at 4 a.m, I'm, now I know like I shouldn't do that. Even if we are just friends, it's still things can happen. You just never know. I mean, I can control if things are gonna happen, but I see it's not a good look. That's what we're getting at. Why are y'all going over? And we just watched Martin, but he doesn't believe it to this day.
I still don't believe it to this day.
Really?
No, I don't. But also at that time, like we moved in really fast. Because like, we went.
Why? Why did you guys move in so fast?
Because like so like my situation was very like as a child, my upbringing was very unstable. So I was always like
Our
staying
moms
with
have
them.
that in common. They're both of their names are Betty.
We love them
This
to
is a
death.
fun
We have
fact.
the best relationship
My mom's
with them
Betty,
now.
his mom's Betty, and
But
our
yeah.
Bettys Got to get their life together.
Yes. So we love them to death, but like even like my mother, and she'll say like my mother, she had me when she was 15. She wasn't ready to be a mother, so it was very rough growing up with my mother. And we can get into it more. I don't mind getting into it more, but so with that being said, like I was bouncing around from family member to family member, and then eventually it just like it was a balance between like you're not my child, so I can't shelter you, but then also a thing of me not understanding responsibility either, because I wasn't really taught. So I ended up falling homeless, and then like she was tired of where she was staying at, and then me and her were together, so it was just like, well, we're at this point we were already like in love and like building our relationship very early, but still building our relationship. So we're just like, hey, like let's just get a place together. And then from there, as we started to grow and like as we started to live together, it was awesome because like I was from the city of Cleveland. She really wasn't from there, so like I would always show her around. Like I just wanted to show her my world, you know what I mean? And then we just started to gain this connection. And then as we grew, we started overcoming hurdles together. And as we overcame hurdles, that's the more I fell in love with her. So like, and then even with the situation that happened, I still understood. I was really hurt by it. At that point I was like done with her.
So to add to that, so because I did that, it was like a tic-tac. Okay, you going to go over a guy's house, I'm going to go over this girl's house. So like we kind of started doing that. It got toxic,
That happens when you're young.
Yeah. That started. So we kind of kept doing that. So it got to the point where we started finding like people, I used to serve as well. So I used to like and I would just do it. Not even, and this is kind of messed up, I guess. But if a guy gave me his number, I would still take his number, put it in my apron, and purposely leave it there for him at the time. Because like if he finds my apron or something and he finds it, it got a guy number in it. But I never even had intention of calling the guy. And for him, so like he'll get girls' numbers out at gas stations or wherever he would go.
Don't say it like that. Like right, like that's my that's my go-to. Like, hey baby, you look like that 93 look good on you over there. You know what I'm saying? That unleaded looking real good. Just, look.
Wherever he met him.
Where you met these people.
Right. Like you looking like premium grade over there, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Right, exactly, right.
That was the beginning of our relationship. So I think for the first because the first year, I mean, we didn't argue at all. We was like, this is the best relationship ever. We had so much in common.
Remember we used to pride ourselves on that.
We used to pride ourselves on that. We got the best relationship. We never argue.
Yeah.
We don't argue. We see eye to eye on everything.
The first year. The first year.
I feel like every couple said that. Like,
there's some
argue
couples.
at all.
No. We probably had disagreements, but we never like.
Okay, we never like went down each other's like throats like we happened when we moved in together, but we argued.
Yeah.
I disagree with a lot of stuff.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't really have
We didn't have disagreements or arguments at all. The first year was amazing. Wow. Second, third, we started going through all this stuff.
But she started it. That situation started it for me. Because, like, when I told you, I was like, I've always been I've even like cheating. Like I was big on like cheating. Like even when I was a kid.
You're big on cheating.
Okay, big on not cheating. Okay.
The subject was big on not cheating.
Right.
That's what he meant.
Thank you. See?